Hello, everyone. Uh, Thank you very much for the opportunity to share what has been happening here in Nigeria. Um, I will be sharing my screen now. So, my name is Roger Phillips. I am the CEO at Titan Air Mobility, the country liaison to Nigeria for the Advanced Air Mobility Institute. First and foremost, just getting straight into it because we have a little bit of content to cover. There has been a few engagements for training in drones and advanced air mobility here. The first is the training for drones, which was done by the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. The goal was to ensure that the participants of the training that they know how drones work, as in terms of the electronics, the insides of the drones, and also being able to have preliminary knowledge of the drones and be able to pilot the drones on a very very basic level before they can now move on to advanced training subsequently. And, and after the training, all the participants were given 150 grams of drone, which is the only type of drone that is currently allowed to be flown without a license in Nigeria. And also, we worked with the Nigerian Airspace Management Authority to do advanced air mobility training. And the goal of the training is that we've seen in a lot of jurisdictions where only the top officials or the engineers know what the agencies are doing in terms of advanced air mobility. But the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, they are taking a different route. They want every single individual within their agency to know exactly what advanced air mobility is, what it's about, the benefits, and how it affects the economy. That way, it's easier to make policies and it's easier to make regulations faster if everyone has some level, some basic knowledge of what advanced air mobility is. And then we have ACO receiving the first training license from the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. So apparently, this is the first training organization, or rather, let me put it this way: that the first licensed training organization. That means once you finish a training with ACO, you are automatically issued a license that you are now a drone pilot, and they are offering um, the from basic to beyond visual line of sight. And ideally, before these kind of individuals or trainees would get this kind of licenses in Nigeria before, there were no opportunities to get this kind of licenses. So they would have to travel abroad and do this training abroad for BV flights and different other kind of specializations in the drone industry. But now, since it can be offered locally, we will be seeing a lot more drone certified drone pilots by our own local authorities, and then the industry is going to um, grow at a faster pace. We saw the recent graduation of the Nigerian Air Force pilots, specifically for drones, different kinds of drones. So they are trained to know and understand different kinds of drones and also be able to fly them from the most advanced ones, which are the Chinese CH-4, to the most basic quadcopter and the kamikaze drones. So that's what this kind of specializations are for, and I think they are recruiting for new cohorts almost every year now for this kind of deep specialization in drone technologies. And we've also seen the defense space administration also going into drones by also adopting drone technologies from different OEMs from around the world. There have been some attempts to do a complete vertically integrated build. However, what has been most successful are the hybridization of technology from different parts of the world. Also, earlier this year, there was a drone conference called Drone Tech X 2025. I attended the conference, and there were lots of opportunities to talk to the regulators and the different participants. We had different parastatals of government in the room, and there were lots of conversations that were had and being implemented in terms of how drone regulations are going to be going forward. And also, there has been two remarkable companies in Nigeria, Terra Industries and Bridge UAS Partners. Terra Industries, they have a 15,000 square foot facility, and they're aspiring to build 10,000 drones annually for different use. And Bridge UAS Partners, they are partnered with the Nigerian military and also a Chinese OEM to unveil new models and adapted models for use with the military. Now on Zipline, Zipline launched in Kaduna in 2022, and they've seen a lot of adoption, especially in the rural areas that are not readily accessible. But now they've expanded into Bayelsa and Cross River states. These are states in Nigeria, and they are planning to expand to 5 other states. And you can see in the images on the far right, you can see the commissioner for science and technology for Lagos State, which is the economic or commercial capital of Nigeria. Also for eVTOL consultations, for me and some other professionals within our networks, we've seen a lot of consultation and conversations around eVTOLs, especially from different players like Archer, Joby, different players coming or inquiring about the landscape or let me landscape in Nigeria. And then we've seen the air scooter, which recently was trying to cross the English Channel and took a swing. We've seen some consultations from some folks within my immediate network. We've also seen Air eVTOL. We've seen consultations from Air eVTOL, especially regarding purchase of Air eVTOLs and how that could work within Nigeria. And I think with the release of Mosaic in the US, Nigeria is going to follow suit in terms of how this kind of aircraft is going to be regulated and certified for local operations. We've also seen interest from FBO and MRO players like Bristol and Seven Star Global Hangars. And these companies are looking to how they can integrate advanced air mobility aircrafts, especially the eVTOLs, within their operations. There are also some players that were not mentioned here because of NDA, but then we've seen a lot of consultation for the deployment of advanced air mobility aircraft in Nigeria. So the general sentiment is that Nigeria is open for business and Nigeria is a pay-to-play country, as long as the safety and security within the operation has been guaranteed. There is no regulatory limitations in Nigeria. Ready players are invited to bring their aircraft for some sandbox operational testing. This is a first-hand conversation and experience with some of the regulatory bodies where on behalf of some of the players, I and some other industry folks approached the regulators that, hey, there's this aircraft, we want to We want to run this type of operation. And the next thing was that, is the aircraft in country? Can we set up some kind of test in the next few weeks? So, and that has been consistent over the last few months, that really we do not have regulatory limitations in terms of deployment, but as we all know, a lot of the eVTOL OEMs are just not ready yet. And most of them do not, I think all of them do not even have a craft in continent that is on the African continent. I'm not sure any of them has a craft on the African continent. So the position now from experience is that, hey, just bring your craft in. We can create a sandbox and do some test operations, and then we can do some local certification for different missions. So the aviation and by extension, the advanced air mobility ecosystem is more action-based oriented rather than talks. That is also from experience and from all the consultations that I and some of my industry colleagues have been doing. Is that, yeah, in Silicon Valley, yes, you can hype up the FAA, talk about the different parts of the or the different mission profile that you can do. In Nigeria, you are just expected to bring your craft in, and then we run the tests. So more action rather than talking. And also from simulations, we have been doing some simulations, and we've seen 300 billion annual economic activity from the deployment of from the full deployment of advanced air mobility aircraft and ecosystem. This is from the OEMs, infrastructure, mobility, logistics, drones, licensing, all the activities involved. We are seeing that there's going to be a huge opportunity in terms of deploying OEM locally in Nigeria. As for what we do at Titan Air Mobility, we are creating the technology and also the ecosystem for advanced air mobility aircraft and ecosystem to be successful. So I know the image that you are seeing right now is a two-seater, which is one of the technologies that we are building. However, we are more cargo first. We are more cargo first in terms of deployment and how we think the technology can work locally. We are more cargo first, and then before passenger. Thank you very much. You can find me on LinkedIn, Jai Phillips, and you can also follow the company Titan Air Mobility on all social media platforms. Thank you.